I hold thee for a strong goddess who has come. Well, this is contextual. I hold thee for a strong goddess who has come pitying our barren days. Contextual in the sense that they are living in the hermitage, barren days, no life dynamism at all, see. And Savitri has accepted it. She is pitying them, their condition, and she is willing to serve them, even in that condition, you see. Strong goddess, you have come like a goddess to help us. Otherwise, how do we expect that a young princess would come and serve us like that? You must be somebody exceptional already here, pitying our barren days. This is, of course, in the immediate context of the story of Savitri, in the human way of looking at things, but it is a much greater truth, much deeper truth, more spiritual, more occult, more dense, powerful, diamond-like, intense, this truth. Strong goddess who has come pitying our barren days. That is what the avatar comes here to do. He comes here for that purpose. Savitri, the divine goddess, takes the human birth, pitying our barren days, comes like an avatar here to redeem our fate, our lot, our condition, our mortality. It is for that purpose you come here and try to help. So it is not just the immediate social context in which this is there, but it is in the deeper occult spiritual sense that I hold thee for a strong goddess who has come pitying our barren days. That is how Savitri comes here. In other words, this lady is really a person who has spiritual realization of certainty. After all, she has been living for 25 years in the ashram, in the spiritual atmosphere, in the hermitages, and she must have definitely acquired that spiritual merit, that capacity to know things beyond the human contact, you see. So the moment she sees Savitri, she doesn't see Savitri as a human figure there. She sees behind her somebody else who has come here to help us. That is the realization she already has in her. That is, in a certain sense, the greatness of Savitri, also of her mother-in-law. I hold thee for a strong goddess who has come pitying our barren day. So dost thou serve, even as a slave might. Yes, Savitri is coming, she is cleaning the floor, pulling the water from the well, washing the clothes, cleaning the utensils. She is doing all the household work like a slave in the house, like a goddess, you see. So dost thou serve even as a slave might, yet art thou beyond all that thou doest. All our minds conceive, like the strong sun that serves earth from above. What a powerful simile she has put. Yes, you are serving us the way the sun serves the earth here. You have taken this birth here for that purpose. So this is the greatness. In fact, if you simply read this line alone, this passage alone, I hold thee for a strong goddess who has come pitying our barren day. So dost thou serve even as a slave might, yet art thou beyond all that thou doest. All our minds conceive, like the strong sun that serves earth from above. This is the realization of the avatarhood of Savitri. This is the description of Savitri being an avatar. These 5 lines are the description of an avatar, not human Savitri, ordinary Savitri. Strong goddess like a sun serving from above. See. In other words, even if I don't know about the past of Savitri, etc., here and all that, by simply saying that, by reading these lines, it is absolutely clear that this is somebody who has come for a special mission to do something specially on earth. And that is what the avatar does, you see. So that has been very powerfully indicated in these 4-5 lines, you see. I hold thee for a strong goddess is enough. That hold thee is not just an utterance, it's not just a phrase, it is a realization. She has realized it. It is not just kind of a verbal utterance or speaking something. I hold thee, it is a realization, you see. And then the doomed husband and the woman who knew, etc., goes on, you see. Now, let us read the corresponding passage, what we have in the Mahabharata story, or what we have just seen, you see. How Savitri is asking for the permission and how her mother-in-law grants the permission to Savitri. Now, in the Mahabharata story, it is different. Okay, so in the Mahabharata story, we have more or less the essence is the same, but in a different idiom and different manner of social customs. Here, Savitri is asking the permission from her mother-in-law. In the Mahabharata story, Savitri is asking the permission from her father-in-law, not from mother-in-law. The patriarchal society, it is that which is presented in the original story here. And then we have here, then Savitri, the observer of the difficult to vow, went to her in-laws and with due respect requested them this way. Presently, my husband is leaving for the great forest to gather fruits. Early morning, he is about to go to the forest and she approaches them and she tells them, my husband will be shortly going to the forest to gather fruits for all of us here, you see. A desire impels me to go also with him. If by the respectable mother and father-in-law I shall be permitted to do so. If I am permitted, then only I will go. I cannot bear, even for a moment, separation from him any more. She says like that. Your son is going to the forest to collect fruits and flowers and sacrificial wood for the sacred fire, for the yajna, as are needed by his revered teachers all around. So it is not proper for me to stop him from this. I cannot say, no, don't go to the forest today. He must go to the forest today, obviously. Had it been for something else, I would not have allowed him to go to the forest. Of course, he's lying here. Yeah, to the forest. Besides, it is almost for a year that I did not step out of the ashram premises. But now a curiosity has arisen in me to see the forest. I want to go and see the forest, full of trees and flowers. Now, this is what she is telling her in-laws, and the answer is made by Jumatsena here. Jumatsena, that is her father-in-law, answers. Ever since Savitri's father left her here as my daughter-in-law, never has she made any request to me for anything. Savitri has been living here, she never made any request at all for anything. I do not recollect her having done so any time. And therefore, let the young wife have what she is longing for. She has not requested me anything at all, you see. Oh, my dear daughter, be not inadvertent while following the way with Satyavan. It is a dangerous road, rocky road, trees are there, snakes are there, all kind of insects are there. Don't fall into that kind of thing. That is how he advises Savitri. Obtaining thus the permission from both the in-laws, the triumphant lady, Savitri is now jubilant that she got the permission from her in-laws, you see. Yashaswini, he calls it Yashaswini. She is triumphant, Yashasvi. Lady went with her husband, but while she appeared to be smiling and happy, in her bosom she carried a severe, deep affliction. Obviously, she is happy to go along with her husband, but in her heart there is that grief. She saw large eyes as she was, different parts of the forest, varied in aspects, and beautiful everywhere, with flocks of joyous peacocks. She sees all beautiful things around, with a lot of peacocks there, she dancing. Now, again, this is a very charged kind of a story. The description here is not just for the sake of description or fancy. When he speaks of peacocks and joyous and all that kind of thing, he is already indicating the triumph, the victory. Peacock is the bird of victory of what Savitri is doing. Therefore, he uses peacocks. He doesn't say other birds, parrots and other things. He uses peacocks. She carried deep peacocks, showing the sacred stream. Satyavani is showing this stream, this mountain, these trees, these flowers, and all that thing. Showing the sacred streams, carrying waters, and the tall mountains, and the trees laden with flowers. Satyavan would speak to Savitri in words that are honey sweet. The lovers are there in the lonely place. That is how you speak to each other intimately, lovingly. See. Yet, with a steadfast look, Savitri kept a close vigil on all the movements of her husband. He is going around seeing her. She is watching all the while, every moment. She is not allowing him to escape out of her sight. Remembering well the words of the heavenly sage, Narad, what Narad had said. Because Narad, this moment, this hour, this day, this year, everything is specified explicitly. Savitri is counting, etc. Now that moment is about to arrive. Remembering well the words of the heavenly sage, she knew for certain the death of her husband with the arrival of time. Kala is about to come, time is about to arrive. Kala Purusha will be there and she will have to face him, you see, death. She, walking with a soft and gentle gait, had her heart as it divided into two. On the one hand, she is in the company of her lover. She is very happy, very joyous, very jubilant also. She sees the birds, peacocks dancing all around, joyous. But at the same time, she is afflicted. Soon, very shortly, he is going to die. So there is deep grief also in the soul. She is at once joyous and grieving. She, walking with a soft and gentle gait, had her heart as if divided into two, one following her husband and the other in the await of the fatal moment. Yes, it has to come, it will come. She is waiting for that also. So that is how we have in the original story. So this follows more or less the same description, narrative, Then the doomed husband and a woman who knew went with linked hands into that solemn world where beauty and grandeur and unspoken dream, because they are lovers moving together, where nature's mystic silence could be felt communing with the secrecy of God. Now, this is not just a love story. The whole place is where there is the mystic silence, there is the spiritual atmosphere all around here, communing with the secrecy of God. The silence is holding in its bosom some secret of the God. Why the silence for? There is the secret of God locked in it, and it is that secret of God which will get opened shortly. Secrecy of God will be revealed in a moment with the arrival of death. Beside her, Satyavan walked full of joy, obviously, as a young person, as a young husband, because she moved with him through his green horns, all the green places. He showed her all the forest riches, flowers innumerable of every odor and hue, and soft, thick, clinging creepers, red and green, and strange, rich plumaged birds. To every cry that haunted sweetly distant above, replied with a shrill singer's name, most sweetly called. So the bird is answering the bird with greater sweetness. This is what she sees there all around, you see. In nature's description. In fact, we'll see this thing again in more detail next time. He spoke of all the things he loved. Satyavan is very familiar with the whole place. In fact, that is how he has grown, and that is how he had described the whole place when he was making advances towards Savitri in the book of love. That whole description is kind of summarized here. We shall see that thing this time. He spoke of all the things he loved. They were his boyhood's comrades and his playfellows, co-evals and companions of his life. He has grown with them. Here in this world, with every mood he knew. Their thoughts which to the common mind are blank, he shared. He could understand what they are speaking, what they are communicating constantly. He realizes that thing. To every wild emotion felt an answer. Deeply she listened, but to hear the voice that soon ceased from tender words. She is, of course, very lovingly listening to what he is speaking, but then the voice that soon would cease, she is constantly aware of this fact. Now the moment will come, now the moment will come, now the moment will come, and his voice will cease. The voice that soon would cease from tender words and treasure its sweet cadences beloved for lowly memory. So what will happen? All that he has been speaking until now, in a short while, they will become memories. He will not be able to hear it. They will become memory shortly, you see. For lonely memory, when none by her walked, she would be alone there because he won't be there now, and she would be simply remembering all those associations of her with him. And the beloved voice could speak no more. But little dwelled her mind upon their sense. Yes, she understands all those loving words which Satyavan is speaking, but she is not really bothered about that. She understands that thing, she holds that thing also, but she is more involved, more drawn into the depth of what is implied behind that. But little dwelt her mind upon their sense. Yes, she understands, but there is something deeper. Of death, not life, she thought, her life's lone end. Her concern, her thought, her occupation, mental, physical, vital, everything is for death. Not life, but death. She thought her life's lone end. Love in her bosom, hurt with jagged edges. So love itself has become a rough stone, and it is that which is hurting her. Of anguish moaned at every step and pain, crying, so that when that stone of love is scratching her heart, she feels the pain and cry, now, now, perhaps his voice will cease forever, forever. Even by some vague touch of breast, sometimes her eyes looked round as if their orbs might see the dim, the dreadful gods approach. So the dim, dreadful God will approach. Yeah.